Anna woke up before the sun just like she did every morning. Her tiny apartment was quiet except for the soft ticking of the clock on her bedside table. She'd been working at the Grand Royal Hotel for almost 8 years now, and her body knew the routine without needing an alarm. Get up at 4:30, shower, dress, eat something small, and be out the door by 5:15 to catch the first bus downtown. But today was different. Anna reached for her phone and saw 3 missed calls from Isabel, the elderly woman who watched Anna's daughter while she worked. With a knot forming in her stomach, Anna listened to the voicemail. "Anna, I'm so sorry." Isabel's voice croaked through the phone. "My arthritis is so bad today I can barely move. I can't watch Lily. I'm so sorry to let you down." Anna sat on the edge of her bed, running her fingers through her hair. 8 years at the hotel and she'd never missed a day. Even when Lily had the flu 2 years ago, Anna had managed to find someone to stay with her. But today, with no warning, her sister lived on the other side of town and all her neighbors would be at their own jobs. "Mom," Lily stood in the doorway, rubbing sleep from her eyes. At 12 years old, she was growing tall like her father had been, with the same curious brown eyes. "What's wrong?" "Isabel can't watch you today," Anna explained, her mind racing through options. "Her arthritis is acting up." Lily's face brightened. "I can stay home alone?" "I'm old enough. For 9 hours?" "No," Anna shook her head. "And I can't miss work. I already took time off last month for your school conference. So what are we going to do?" Lily asked, fully awake now. Anna looked at her daughter, measuring her maturity against her options. Lily was responsible for her age. She always did her homework without being asked and kept her room clean. But bringing her to the hotel? If the manager found out, Anna could lose her job. "You're coming with me," Anna finally said. "But you have to be on your best behavior. You'll stay in the staff break room all day. Bring your books, your tablet, anything to keep you busy. You cannot wander around. Do you understand?" Lily's eyes widened. "I get to see where you work?" "The fancy hotel? Yes, but you won't see much of it. Just the break room," Anna warned. "This is serious, Lily. If anyone important sees you there, I could be fired." "I promise I'll be good," Lily said, rushing to get dressed. "I won't cause any trouble." The city was just waking up as they rode the bus downtown. Street lamps still glowed against the dark blue sky. Early risers waited at bus stops, coffee cups in hand. Lily pressed her face against the window, watching the buildings grow taller as they approached the heart of the city. "Is your hotel the really tall one, with the glass all over?" she asked. "That's the one," Anna nodded. "The Grand Royal, 28 floors of luxury. And you clean all of it?" Anna smiled. "Not all at once. Today I have 12 rooms assigned. That's my normal load." As the bus pulled up to their stop, Anna touched Lily's shoulder. "Remember what I said. Stay where I put you. Don't talk to the guests. If anyone asks, you're waiting for me to finish my shift because of a family emergency." "I know." "Mom, I'll be careful," Lily said, but there was a spark in her eye that made Anna nervous. The Grand Royal Hotel rose like a mountain of glass and steel before them. Anna led Lily through the staff entrance, nodding to Frank, the security guard who'd worked the morning shift as long as Anna had been there. "Morning, Anna," Frank said, then noticed Lily. His eyebrows rose slightly. "Family emergency," Anna explained quickly. "Just for today. She'll stay in the break room." Frank glanced around to make sure no managers were nearby. "I didn't see a thing," he said with a wink to Lily. The back corridors of the hotel were plain compared to the luxury of the guest areas. Simple white walls, tile floors, fluorescent lighting. They passed the laundry room where massive machines were already humming, washing sheets and towels for the day. "Mrs. Chen should be here soon," Anna said, checking her watch as they entered the staff locker room. She changed quickly into her navy blue uniform with the hotel logo. "She's my supervisor. I texted her about the situation this morning. She said it would be okay just this once." As if summoned by her name, Mrs. Chen appeared in the doorway. She was in her 50s with short practical hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. Those eyes immediately focused on Lily. "So this is your daughter," she said, her voice neither friendly nor unfriendly, just matter of fact. "Yes, this is Lily," Anna said, straightening her uniform. "Thank you for understanding about today." Mrs. Chen studied Lily for a moment. "The break room is that way," she pointed down the hall. "There's a couch, a table, a TV. You are to stay there. Do not wander. Do not bother the staff while they're working. Do you understand?" Lily nodded solemnly. "Yes, ma'am." "Good." Mrs. Chen turned to Anna. We're extra busy today. The charity gala tonight has the whole hotel on edge. Mr. Rivera is watching everything like a hawk, Anna's stomach tightened at the mention of the hotel manager. Mr. Rivera was known for his perfectionism and strict adherence to rules. If he found out about Lily, I understand, Anna said. I'll work as quickly as I can. The break room was small but comfortable enough. A worn couch sat against one wall, facing a small TV mounted in the corner. A round table with 4 chairs took up the center of the room, and a tiny kitchenette with a microwave and coffee maker lined the far wall. Anna settled Lily at the table with her backpack of books and activities. I brought you plenty of snacks, Anna said, placing a bag on the table. There's a bathroom right across the hall. If you absolutely need me, text me, but remember I might not be able to check my phone right away. I'll be fine, Mom, Lily said, already pulling out her summer reading book. Go clean those fancy rooms. Anna hesitated at the door. Promise me you won't leave this room? I promise, Lily said, not looking up from her book. With one last worried glance, Anna headed to the housekeeping supply room to collect her cleaning cart. The day's assignment showed 12 rooms spread across 3 floors. If she worked efficiently, she could finish in time to check on Lily during her breaks. The morning passed in a blur of stripped beds, vacuumed carpets, scrubbed bathrooms, and dusted surfaces. Anna worked quickly, her mind half on her tasks and half on her daughter alone in the break room. During her mid-morning break, she rushed back to find Lily exactly where she'd left her, now watching a video on her tablet with headphones. Everything okay? Anna asked after Lily removed her headphones. Fine, just boring, Lily admitted. How many more hours? 6, Anna said apologetically. I need to get back now. My next break is at 1:30. Lily nodded, putting her headphones back on as Anna reluctantly returned to work. By lunchtime, Anna had finished 7 rooms. She grabbed a quick sandwich from the staff cafeteria and hurried back to check on Lily, only to find Mrs. Chen standing outside the break room with a worried expression. Anna, Mrs. Chen said quietly, your daughter isn't in the break room. Anna felt like someone had dumped ice water down her back. What? I just checked on her 2 hours ago. I went in to heat up my lunch and she wasn't there. Her things are still on the table, but she's gone. Panic rose in Anna's chest as she pushed past Mrs. Chen into the break room. Lily's backpack was on the chair, her tablet on the table, but no sign of the girl herself. She promised she wouldn't leave, Anna whispered, more to herself than to Mrs. Chen. We need to find her quickly, Mrs. Chen said, her voice tight with concern. If Mr. Rivera sees her wandering around, especially with the gala preparations underway, she didn't need to finish. Anna knew exactly what would happen. People had been fired for less. I'll check the hallways near here, Anna said, trying to keep her voice steady. Maybe she just went to explore a little. I'll check the staff cafeteria, Mrs. Chen offered. Text me if you find her. And Anna, be discreet. We don't want to draw attention. Anna nodded, slipping out into the corridor. Where would a curious 12-year-old go in a luxury hotel? The pool, the restaurants? As she hurried through the back hallways, checking every corner and alcove, Anna couldn't help thinking about how much this job meant to her family. The steady pay, the health insurance, the occasional guest tips. They relied on all of it to keep their small apartment, to afford Lily's school supplies, to put food on the table. And now, because of one day's bad luck and her daughter's wandering feet, it might all disappear. Just as Anna was about to check the hotel restaurants, she heard distant music coming from the direction of the main lobby. Piano music. Something made her change direction, following the gentle melody with quickening steps, a mother's intuition pulling her forward. The Grand Royal's lobby was the heart of the hotel. Marble floors, soaring ceilings with crystal chandeliers, and in the center, a magnificent white grand piano that was rarely played except during special events. As Anna approached the entrance to the lobby, the music stopped abruptly, replaced by a man's angry voice echoing off the marble walls. What do you think you're doing? Get away from that piano immediately. Anna's heart seemed to stop in her chest. She knew before she even looked what she would find. Anna rushed toward the lobby, her heart pounding. The angry voice belonged to Thomas Reed, the front desk manager. He stood tall and imposing in his perfect black suit, his face red with anger as he I asked you a question, Thomas snapped at Lily. What are you doing touching this piano? Do you have any idea how expensive it is? Lily's face had gone pale. Her hands were clasped tightly in front of her, shoulders hunched as if trying to make herself smaller. I was just fixing it, she stammered. It wasn't lined up right. Fixing it? Thomas's voice rose even higher. Several hotel guests stopped to stare at the scene unfolding in the middle of the grand lobby. And who exactly are you to decide that? How did you even get in here? Anna wanted to run to her daughter to shield her from the man's anger, but her feet felt frozen to the marble floor. If she revealed herself as Lily's mother, she would lose her job on the spot. But how could she stand by while her daughter was being yelled at? The piano was crooked, Lily insisted, her voice small but determined. She pointed to the floor. See those little tape marks? It's supposed to be lined up with them. It was a few inches off. Thomas looked down at the floor, momentarily caught off guard. Anna could see small pieces of blue tape marking a rectangle on the marble floor. She'd noticed the piano being moved that morning for the charity gala, but hadn't paid much attention. That's not the point. Thomas regained his composure. The point is, you shouldn't be touching anything in this hotel. This is a 5-star establishment, not a playground. A small crowd had gathered now. Well-dressed hotel guests watched from the comfortable seating areas around the lobby, some with expressions of discomfort, others with the slightly fascinated look of people witnessing drama that didn't involve them. I play piano at school, Lily said, lifting her chin slightly. I know how to be careful with instruments. I wasn't going to hurt it. At school? Thomas scoffed. This isn't some beaten-up classroom piano. This is a concert grand worth more than... He stopped suddenly, his eyes narrowing. Wait, whose child are you? Are you a guest's daughter? Anna knew she had to intervene now before Thomas called security. She took a deep breath and stepped into the lobby. She's my daughter, she said, her voice steadier than she felt. Thomas turned, his eyes widening when he saw Anna's uniform. Your daughter? Your staff. It wasn't a question. His eyes darted from Anna to Lily and back again. You brought your child to work? That's against hotel policy. I had no choice, Anna said, walking forward to stand beside Lily. She put a protective arm around her daughter's shoulders. My babysitter canceled last minute. It was either bring her or miss my shift. Then you should have missed your shift, Thomas said coldly. This is completely unprofessional. And now she's touching the centerpiece for tonight's charity gala. Do you have any idea how important this event is? Anna felt the weight of stares from the hotel guests. She saw Mrs. Chen hovering at the edge of the lobby, her face a mask of concern. This was exactly what they had been trying to avoid. I'm sorry, Anna said, looking Thomas directly in the eyes. It won't happen again. You're right about that, Thomas replied. Because you'll be... Excuse me, a new voice interrupted. A middle-aged woman in an elegant blue dress approached them. I couldn't help overhearing. Did this young lady say the piano was out of position? Thomas blinked, caught off guard by the interruption. Mrs. Harrington, I'm so sorry about this disruption. I assure you we're handling it. The woman, Mrs. Harrington, ignored him and smiled at Lily. You noticed the piano wasn't on its marks? Lily nodded, still pressed against her mother's side. Yes, ma'am. It was about 3 inches too far to the left. I was just moving it back to where the tape marks are. Mrs. Harrington turned to Thomas. Mr. Reed, this young lady is correct. I specifically asked for the piano to be positioned exactly on those marks for tonight's performance. The lighting has been arranged for that exact spot. I wasn't aware, Thomas stammered, his confident demeanor faltering. We can have maintenance reposition it immediately. It seems this young lady has already taken care of it, Mrs. Harrington said, looking at the piano's position. And quite accurately, I might add. She turned back to Lily with genuine interest. You said you play piano? Yes, ma'am, Lily replied, standing a little straighter. For 3 years now, at school? Mrs. Harrington asked. Yes, we have music class twice a week. My teacher says I have a good ear. Anna watched the exchange with growing confusion. Who was this woman? And why was she taking such an interest in Lily? Mrs. Harrington seemed to sense her question. I'm Eleanor Harrington, she explained. I'm chairing tonight's charity gala. The proceeds will fund music education in schools across the city. She looked at Thomas. Which is why I find it particularly inappropriate that you would shout at a child who is simply trying to help. Thomas's face flushed. Mrs. Harrington, I was merely following hotel protocol. The girl shouldn't have been touching the piano, and more importantly, she shouldn't be here at all. We have strict policies about staff bringing family members to work. I understand policies, Mr. Reed, Mrs. Harrington said coolly. I also understand compassion and common sense. Surely there could have been a better solution than publicly berating a child. The guests who had been watching now murmured in agreement. Thomas looked around, suddenly aware that public opinion was not on his side. I apologize for raising my voice, he said stiffly. But the policy violation remains. I'll need to report this to Mr. Rivera. Actually, I'd like to speak with Mr. Rivera myself, Mrs. Harrington said. Where might I find him? Thomas's eyes widened slightly. He's overseeing preparations in the ballroom, but excellent. I'll speak with him now. She turned to Anna and Lily. Would you both come with me, please? Anna hesitated. Ma'am, I still have rooms to clean, and my daughter was supposed to stay in the break room. This won't take long, Mrs. Harrington assured her, and I believe it's important. Anna looked at Mrs. Chen, who had been watching the entire exchange. Her supervisor gave a small nod as if to say, Go ahead. Thank you. Ma'am, Anna said to Mrs. Harrington, we'll come with you. As they walked toward the ballroom, leaving a stunned Thomas Reed behind them, Lily whispered, I'm sorry, Mom. I know I promised to stay in the break room. We'll talk about that later, Anna whispered back. Right now, just be polite and let me do the talking when we meet Mr. Rivera. The Grand Royal's ballroom was a flurry of activity. Staff members were arranging tables and chairs, florists were creating elaborate centerpieces, and technicians were adjusting the lighting. In the middle of it all stood Mr. Rivera, the hotel manager, directing everyone like a conductor leading an orchestra. He was a tall man with salt and pepper hair and a presence that commanded attention. When he spotted Mrs. Harrington, he broke into a warm smile that transformed his serious face. Eleanor, how wonderful to see you. I trust everything is proceeding to your satisfaction. Almost everything, Victor, Mrs. Harrington replied. But we need to discuss something. Mr. Rivera noticed Anna and Lily for the first time. His smile faded as he took in Anna's uniform and Lily's casual clothes. Is there a problem? Not a problem, Mrs. Harrington said firmly. An opportunity. But first I should tell you what happened in the lobby just now. As Mrs. Harrington recounted the scene with Thomas Reed, Mr. Rivera's expression grew increasingly troubled. He looked at Anna with sharp eyes. Is this true? You brought your daughter to work? Anna straightened her shoulders. Yes, sir. My regular babysitter called in sick this morning. I had no alternatives and I didn't want to miss my shift. Mrs. Chen gave me permission for Lily to stay in the break room for today only. And yet she was in the lobby, touching the piano, Mr. Rivera observed. Yes, sir. That was wrong and we're both very sorry. Anna squeezed Lily's shoulder. It won't happen again. Mr. Rivera studied them for a long moment. Anna, you've worked here for how long? 8 years, sir. And in those 8 years, have you ever brought your daughter to work before? No, sir, never. Mr. Rivera nodded slowly. I appreciate your dedication to your job. Many would have simply called out, I couldn't afford to, sir, Anna said honestly. Something in Mr. Rivera's expression softened slightly. He turned to Lily. Young lady, why did you leave the break room after promising your mother you would stay there? Lily looked up at him, her eyes wide but direct. I got bored, sir. I was sitting there for hours. I just wanted to see the hotel my mom is always talking about. I didn't mean to cause trouble. And the piano? It was in the wrong spot, Lily said simply. The tape marks on the floor showed where it should be, but it wasn't lined up right. My music teacher always says that details matter. Mr. Rivera exchanged a look with Mrs. Harrington, who smiled. Victor, Mrs. Harrington said, I have a proposal. Our gala tonight is raising money for music education. What better way to demonstrate its importance than to have a young musician perform? Anna's mouth fell open. You want Lily to play at the gala? If she's willing, Mrs. Harrington nodded. Just one piece before the main program begins. It would be perfect thematically, don't you think, Victor? Mr. Rivera looked thoughtful. It would certainly add a personal touch to the evening. He turned to Lily. Can you play something appropriate for a formal event? Lily's eyes were wide with surprise, but she nodded. I've been practicing Beethoven's Für Elise for my school recital next month. Me? Anna shook her head. Ma'am, I'm scheduled to work until 7 tonight. Consider your schedule adjusted, Mr. Rivera said. You'll both be my personal guests at the gala. Anna couldn't believe what she was hearing. Sir, that's very generous, but I don't have anything appropriate to wear to such an event, and neither does Lily. Mrs. Harrington waved away her concern. The hotel boutique can provide something for both of you. Consider it part of our appreciation for raising a daughter who notices when things aren't quite right, and does something about it. As they left the ballroom, Anna felt like she was in a dream. What had started as a potential disaster had somehow turned into an unexpected opportunity. Mom, Lily whispered, squeezing her hand, I really am sorry I broke my promise. Anna looked down at her daughter. I know you are, and we'll definitely talk about that later. But right now, she shook her head in wonder. Right now, we need to get you ready to play the piano at a charity gala. Anna felt like she was living someone else's life as she followed Mrs. Harrington to the hotel boutique. Just an hour ago, she'd been frantically searching for her daughter, terrified of losing her job. Now they were being treated like honored guests. The hotel boutique was a small, elegant shop on the mezzanine level that catered to travelers who'd forgotten essentials or needed last-minute attire for special events. The shop manager, a stylish woman named Patty, greeted Mrs. Harrington warmly. Eleanor, lovely to see you. Is there something I can help you with before tonight's gala? Yes, Patty. I need appropriate attire for my two special guests. Mrs. Harrington gestured to Anna and Lily. This young lady will be performing a piano piece to open our event, and her mother will be attending as well. Patty's eyebrows rose slightly as she took in Anna's housekeeping uniform, but her professional smile never wavered. Of course. Let's see what we can find. What followed was unlike anything Anna had ever experienced. Patty measured them both quickly and efficiently, then disappeared into the back room. She returned with an armful of dresses in various colors and styles. For the young pianist, I think something classic but age-appropriate, Patty said, holding up a knee-length dress in deep blue with a simple design. This color will stand out beautifully against the white piano. Lily touched the fabric with reverent fingers. It's so soft, she whispered. And for Mom, perhaps this? Patty held up a deep purple dress with three-quarter sleeves and a modest neckline. The cut is flattering, and it's comfortable enough to wear for several hours. Anna shook her head in disbelief. These are beautiful, but they must cost a fortune. It's taken care of, Mrs. Harrington said firmly. Consider it part of our arrangement for tonight's performance. I can't accept, Anna began. You can and you will, Mrs. Harrington interrupted gently. This isn't charity, Anna, it's a business arrangement. Your daughter is providing a service for our event, and this is part of the compensation. Put that way, Anna found it harder to refuse. Still, as Lily disappeared into a fitting room with the blue dress, Anna turned to Mrs. Harrington with a puzzled expression. Mrs. Harrington, why are you doing this for us? You don't even know us, the older woman smiled. Let's just say I recognize something in your daughter that reminds me of myself at that age. A perfectionist streak and a love of music. She paused, and perhaps I also remember what it was like to be a single mother trying to make ends meet. Before Anna could respond, Lily emerged from the fitting room. The transformation was remarkable. The blue dress fit her perfectly, making her look older and somehow more poised. Lily twirled slowly, watching the skirt flare slightly. Mom, look. Isn't it beautiful? You're beautiful, Anna said, her throat tight with emotion. Absolutely beautiful. After Anna had tried on her dress, which fit as though it had been made for her, Patty added simple accessories. A delicate silver necklace for Lily and a matching bracelet for Anna. Now shoes, Patty announced. Nothing too high for our young pianist. She needs to be able to use the pedals comfortably. By the time they left the boutique, both were completely outfitted for the evening. Patty had packed their new clothes carefully in garment bags, insisting they change just before the event. Mrs. Harrington, I don't know how to thank you, Anna said as they walked back toward the elevator. Thank me by letting your daughter share her talent tonight, Mrs. Harrington replied. Now I need to check on some details for the event. Lily, would you like to practice on the piano before tonight? Just to get a feel for it? Lily's eyes widened. Yes, please. Excellent. I'll have someone escort you down in about 30 minutes. She turned to Anna. And you should finish your shift. I know you well enough already to guess you wouldn't want to leave things undone. Anna smiled gratefully. You're right. Thank you. After Mrs. Harrington left, Anna turned to her daughter. Lily, we need to talk about what happened today. Lily's excitement dimmed slightly. I know I broke my promise. I'm really sorry, Mom. Why did you leave the break room? The truth, please, Lily sighed. I really was bored. But also, she hesitated. I wanted to see what was so special about this place. You work so hard here every day, and I wanted to understand why. Anna hadn't expected that answer. And what did you discover? It's beautiful, Lily said honestly. But it's also kind of silly how upset that man got about a piano being a few inches off. Is it always like that? People getting mad about little things? Anna thought about Thomas Reed's red face as he'd shouted at Lily. Sometimes, some people forget what really matters when they're focused on making everything perfect. Like Mr. Reed? Yes, like Mr. Reed. Anna squeezed her daughter's hand. But there are also people like Mrs. Harrington, who see beyond the rules to what's really important. They stopped at the staff elevator that would take them back to the service areas. I need to finish my rooms, Anna said. You go with Mrs. Chen to practice on the piano. I'll meet you at the break room at 6 so we can get ready together. Mom? Lily asked as Anna was about to step into the elevator. Are you still mad at me? Anna looked at her daughter's worried face and felt her heart soften. No, I'm not mad. But please, no more wandering off. Even if things are turning out well this time, they could have gone very differently. I promise, Lily said. And this time, Anna believed her. The rest of the afternoon passed in a blur. Anna finished her remaining rooms with renewed energy, working faster than usual. Her coworkers had already heard about what happened. News traveled quickly among the hotel staff and kept stopping her to ask questions. Is it true your daughter is playing at the gala tonight? Did Mrs. Harrington really stand up to Thomas Reed? Are you actually going to the charity event as a guest? Anna answered as briefly as she could, still not quite believing it herself. By 5:30, she had finished her last room and was heading back to the break room when she ran into Thomas Reed in the hallway. The front desk manager stopped abruptly when he saw her. For a moment, they just looked at each other awkwardly. Anna, he finally said, his voice stiff. I understand your daughter will be performing tonight. Yes, sir, Anna replied cautiously. Mrs. Harrington invited her to play. Thomas cleared his throat. I may have reacted too strongly earlier. The piano is an expensive instrument, and with the gala tonight, everyone is under pressure. It wasn't exactly an apology, but it was close. Anna nodded. I understand. And Lily shouldn't have been wandering around. That was my fault. Well, Thomas straightened his tie. I hope her performance goes well. With a curt nod, he continued down the hallway. Anna watched him go, surprised by the brief exchange. It seemed even Thomas Reed could recognize when he'd gone too far. At the break room, Anna found Lily chatting excitedly with Mrs. Chen and 2 other housekeepers. Her daughter's face was flushed with excitement. Mom, the piano is amazing. It's way better than the one at school. The keys feel perfect and the sound is so clear. She played beautifully, Mrs. Chen added with a smile. I stayed to listen for a few minutes. You should be proud. I am, Anna said, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. Very proud. They changed in the staff locker room, which had suddenly become an impromptu dressing room as several housekeepers gathered to help. Marta, who had been doing housekeeping at the hotel even longer than Anna, turned out to be skilled with hair, and quickly arranged Lily's into an elegant style that made her look older. You look like a real concert pianist now, Marta declared, stepping back to admire her work. When Anna emerged in her purple dress, there were appreciative murmurs from her coworkers. She hardly recognized herself in the mirror. It had been years since she'd worn anything this nice. Anna, you're gorgeous, Marta said. Who knew you were hiding under that uniform all this time? At precisely 6:30, a hotel staff member arrived to escort them to the ballroom. The charity gala was scheduled to begin at 7, with Lily's performance opening the evening at 7:15. As they walked through the back corridors of the hotel, Anna felt a strange mix of emotions. Pride in her daughter, nervousness about the performance, and a lingering disbelief that this was actually happening. They entered the ballroom through a side door. The transformation from that afternoon was complete. Round tables covered in white tablecloths. Crystal chandeliers cast a warm glow over everything, and a small stage had been set up at the front of the room. The white grand piano gleamed under the spotlights, waiting for Lily. Mrs. Harrington spotted them and hurried over. She looked elegant in a long silver dress, her white hair swept up in a classic style. "There you are. You both look wonderful." She bent slightly to address Lily. "Are you ready, dear? Guests will begin arriving any minute." Lily nodded, though Anna could see her fingers fidgeting with the fabric of her dress. "I think so." "A little nervous?" Mrs. Harrington asked gently. "A lot nervous," Lily admitted. "What if I make a mistake?" "There are going to be so many people watching." Mrs. Harrington smiled. "Do you know why I was so impressed when you fixed the piano's position this morning?" Lily shook her head. "Because you noticed something that wasn't right and you weren't afraid to fix it even though it wasn't your job. That shows character." She patted Lily's shoulder. "Play with that same confidence tonight. And remember, if you make a mistake, just keep going. Most people won't even notice." Anna watched as her daughter straightened her shoulders and took a deep breath. "I can do that," Lily said with newfound determination. "I know you can," Mrs. Harrington replied. She turned to Anna. "You'll be seated at my table right at the front. You'll have a perfect view." As the first guests began to arrive, Mrs. Harrington led them to a small waiting area just off the main ballroom. Through the doorway, Anna could see well-dressed people filling the room, the gentle hum of conversation growing louder. Lily peeked through the doorway. "There are so many people," she whispered, her voice tight with anxiety. "Just look at me," Anna told her, taking her daughter's hands. "Find me in the audience and play for me, just like you do at home." Lily squeezed her mother's hands. "Will you be okay, sitting out there with all those fancy people?" Anna smiled, touched by her daughter's concern. "I'll be fine. Tonight, we both belong here." As the ballroom filled and the clock ticked closer to 7:15, Anna watched her daughter prepare herself, standing taller, taking deep breaths just as her music teacher had taught her. In that moment, Anna felt a surge of pride so strong it almost overwhelmed her. Whatever happened next, they would face it together. And somehow Anna knew it was going to be all right. The ballroom was filled with the soft murmur of conversation as Anna took her seat at Mrs. Harrington's table. She felt strangely out of place among the well-dressed guests in their expensive clothes and glittering jewelry, yet her purple dress helped her blend in. No one looking at her would guess she had spent the day cleaning rooms on the 10th floor. Mr. Rivera stopped by their table, nodding politely to Anna. "Everything is in order," he said to Mrs. Harrington. "We'll begin in about 5 minutes." "Perfect," Mrs. Harrington replied. She turned to Anna with a reassuring smile. "Don't worry. Lily will be wonderful." Anna nodded, though her stomach was in knots. She had heard Lily practice countless times at home on their old upright piano, but never in front of hundreds of people. What if stage fright struck? What if she forgot the notes? What if... "Ladies and gentlemen," Mr. Rivera's voice cut through her worried thoughts as he stepped onto the small stage at the front of the room. The conversations died down as people turned their attention to him. "Welcome to the Grand Royal Hotel's annual charity gala in support of music education in our city's schools." Polite applause filled the room. Mr. Rivera waited for it to fade before continuing. "Before we begin our evening's festivities, we have a special performance that perfectly embodies why we're all here tonight. Music has the power to transform lives, to open doors, and to bring beauty into our world. Sometimes that talent appears in the most unexpected places." Anna's heart beat faster. She glanced around, wondering if anyone would connect her to the performer about to be introduced. "Please welcome to the stage Miss Lily Morales, a student from Lincoln Middle School, who will open our evening with a performance of Beethoven's Fur-Elise." More applause as Lily walked onto the stage. Anna's breath caught in her throat. Under the spotlights, in her blue dress with her hair arranged so elegantly, Lily looked years older than 12. She approached the piano with measured steps, just as her music teacher had taught her for recitals. When she reached the bench, she turned to face the audience and gave a small, graceful bow before sitting down. For a brief moment, Lily's eyes scanned the room, searching. When they found Anna, a look of relief crossed her face. Anna gave her an encouraging nod and mouthed, "You can do it." Lily placed her fingers on the keys. A hush fell over the ballroom, and then she began to play. The first notes of Fur-Elise filled the air, clear and precise. Anna had heard Lily play this piece dozens of times at home, but never like this. The magnificent grand piano brought a richness to the music that their old upright could never produce. And something about the occasion seemed to elevate Lily's playing. There was a confidence in her touch, an expressiveness that Anna hadn't heard before. As the familiar melody unfolded, Anna watched her daughter's face. Lily's usual look of intense concentration had softened into something else, a kind of serene joy. She was no longer just playing the notes. She was feeling the music. Anna glanced around at the other guests. They were watching with expressions of surprise and pleasure. No one was checking their phones or whispering to their neighbors. All eyes were on Lily, this unknown girl who had appeared from nowhere to open their evening with such unexpected beauty. Even Thomas Reed, standing at the back of the room with other hotel staff, looked impressed. His earlier anger had been replaced by something that looked almost like respect. When Lily reached the middle section of the piece, where the music becomes more complex and flowing, her fingers moved with confidence across the keys. There was one small slip, a note that wasn't quite right, but she recovered instantly, just as Mrs. Harrington had advised. Most of the audience probably didn't even notice, but Anna saw the brief flicker of determination on Lily's face as she pressed on. As the final notes of the piece faded away, there was a moment of complete silence. Then the room erupted in applause, not the polite, obligatory kind that Anna had expected, but enthusiastic, genuine appreciation. Several people rose to their feet. Lily stood from the piano bench, her face flushed with pleasure. She gave another small bow, just as she'd been taught. As the applause continued, Mrs. Harrington stood up and approached the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen, Lily Morales," she said into the microphone. "This is what your generous donations tonight will support, helping talented young people like Lily discover and develop their musical gifts." More applause. Lily smiled shyly and made her way off the stage. As she approached their table, Anna stood and wrapped her in a tight hug. "You were amazing," she whispered into her daughter's ear. "I am so proud of you. Did I do okay?" Lily asked, still breathless with excitement. "I messed up that one part. No one noticed," Anna assured her. "You were perfect." As Lily took her seat at their table, several guests came over to compliment her performance. An older gentleman in a bow tie introduced himself as the director of the City Symphony. "Young lady, that was impressive," he said, bending slightly to speak to Lily. "How long have you been playing?" 3 years, sir," Lily replied politely. His eyebrows rose. "Just 3 years? Remarkable. You have a natural musicality that can't be taught." He handed a business card to Anna. "Please have her teacher contact me. We have a youth program that I think would be perfect for her." As he walked away, Lily looked at Anna with wide eyes. "What does that mean?" "I think it means more opportunities," Anna said, still trying to process what was happening. She tucked the business card carefully into her small purse. Throughout dinner, more people stopped by their table to compliment Lily. Mrs. Harrington beamed like a proud aunt, introducing Lily to everyone as our talented young pianist. No one seemed to find it strange that a hotel maid and her daughter were seated at the head table. Tonight, they were simply guests of honor. During a lull in the conversation, Anna excused herself to use the restroom. As she made her way across the ballroom, she noticed several of her co-workers, housekeepers, waitstaff, and kitchen personnel, watching the event from the sidelines. They smiled and gave her subtle thumbs-up signs as she passed. Word had clearly spread about Lily's performance. In the elegant bathroom, Anna took a moment to look at herself in the mirror. The woman who looked back at her seemed different somehow, not just because of the fancy dress and the carefully applied makeup, but something in her eyes. A new confidence, perhaps, or hope. When she returned to the ballroom, she spotted Mr. Rivera deep in conversation with Mrs. Harrington and an older man she didn't recognize. They waved her over. "Anna, there you are," Mrs. Harrington said. "I'd like you to meet Dr. Phillips, the superintendent of city schools. He's very impressed with Lily's performance." Anna shook the man's hand, wondering why the superintendent would want to meet her. "Mrs. Morales, your daughter has remarkable talent," Dr. Phillips said. "Mrs. Harrington tells me she attends Lincoln Middle School?" "Yes, that's right." Dr. Phillips continued. "We have a specialized art school that might be a better fit for Lily. Students who show promise in music, dance, or visual arts can attend with a full scholarship if they qualify." Anna tried to keep her expression neutral, but her heart was racing. A specialized art school? A scholarship? These were possibilities she had never even considered. It's quite competitive, Dr. Phillips warned. But based on what I heard tonight, I'd say Lily has an excellent chance. I've already spoken with Mrs. Harrington about sponsoring her application. I don't know what to say, Anna stammered. This is so unexpected. Just say you'll consider it, Mrs. Harrington suggested gently. Dr. Phillips can send you the information and you and Lily can decide if it's right for her. Yes, of course we'll consider it, Anna said. Thank you so much. As the evening continued, Anna found herself in a daze. The charity auction began with wealthy guests bidding thousands of dollars on donated items. Under normal circumstances, Anna would have felt completely out of place, but tonight everything felt different. Possible. Lily leaned over to whisper in her ear. Mom, can you believe this is happening? This morning I was just going to sit in a boring break room all day. Anna smiled at her daughter's excitement. I guess it's a good thing you broke your promise and wandered off. Does that mean I'm not in trouble anymore? Lily asked hopefully. Let's say your amazing performance made up for it, Anna replied. But don't make a habit of it. As the night drew to a close, guests began to say their goodbyes. Mrs. Harrington introduced them to so many people that Anna had trouble remembering all the names. Business cards accumulated in her purse. From the symphony director, from a piano teacher who wanted to give Lily private lessons, from a woman who ran a summer music camp. What happens now? Lily asked as they watched the ballroom slowly empty. Do we just go back to normal tomorrow? Before Anna could answer, Mr. Rivera approached them. Mrs. Morales, could I have a word? Anna nodded, wondering if reality was about to come crashing back. Would he remind her that tomorrow she needed to be back in her uniform, cleaning rooms? First, I want to congratulate your daughter on her performance. She brought something special to our event tonight. Thank you, sir, Anna replied cautiously. I also wanted to discuss your position here at the hotel, Mr. Rivera continued. I understand you've been with us for 8 years, always in housekeeping? Anna nodded, her stomach tightening. Was he about to fire her after all, despite everything? Mrs. Chen tells me you're one of our most reliable staff members. Always on time, thorough, good with guests when you encounter them. He paused. Have you ever considered other positions within the hotel? Anna blinked in surprise. Other positions? Like what? We have an opening in our guest relations department. It requires someone detail-oriented, reliable, and good with people. The hours are more regular, no more early mornings, and the pay is better. Plus, there are opportunities for advancement. Anna couldn't believe what she was hearing. Are you offering me a job in guest relations? I'm suggesting you apply for it, Mr. Rivera clarified. I can't promise you'll get it, but after what I've seen today, your poise under pressure, how you handled a difficult situation, I think you'd be a strong candidate. I don't have experience in that kind of role, Anna said hesitantly. Experience can be gained. Character is inherent. Mr. Rivera handed her a card. Think about it. The position won't be filled for 2 weeks. As he walked away, Lily tugged on her mother's sleeve. What was that about? A new opportunity, Anna said, still stunned. Just like for you. Mrs. Harrington joined them for a final goodbye. It's been a pleasure having you both here tonight, she said warmly. I hope this is just the beginning of good things for you, Lily. Thank you for everything, Anna said sincerely. You changed what could have been a terrible day into something amazing. Mrs. Harrington smiled. Sometimes life's best moments come from its most unexpected turns. The key is being ready when opportunity knocks. She patted Lily's shoulder, or when it plays the piano. As they left the ballroom, still wearing their fine clothes, Anna felt as though they were walking into a new world, one with doors that hadn't existed that morning suddenly standing open before them. Mom? Lily asked as they waited for the elevator that would take them back to the staff area to collect their things. Do you think things will be different now? Anna looked down at her daughter, seeing not just the talented girl who had impressed everyone tonight, but also the curious child who couldn't stay put in a break room. The perfectionist who had to fix a piano that was 3 inches out of place. The girl with possibilities stretching before her like an open road. Yes, she said simply. I think things will be very different now. 6 months had passed since the night of the charity gala. Spring had arrived, bringing with it warm breezes and trees bursting with fresh green leaves. Anna stood at the window of their new apartment, watching the morning light filter through the curtains. It wasn't a luxury apartment by any means, but it was nicer than their old place, a little bigger, a little brighter, and in a better neighborhood, closer to Lily's new school. The memory of that night still felt like a dream sometimes. How a single day which had started with such panic and worry had changed everything. As Mrs. Harrington had said, sometimes life's best moments come from its most unexpected turns. "Mom, have you seen my blue folder?" Lily called from her bedroom. "I need it for music theory class today." "Check under your history textbook," Anna called back. "That's where I saw it last night." She smiled as she heard Lily rummaging around her room. Her daughter had always been organized, but since starting at the City Arts Academy 4 months ago, she'd become even more dedicated to keeping track of her various classes and assignments. The specialized arts school had turned out to be perfect for Lily. She still took regular academic classes in the morning, but her afternoons were filled with music, theory, history, and, of course, piano lessons with teachers who recognized and nurtured her talent. She was thriving in ways Anna had never imagined possible. Found it. Lily emerged from her room, backpack slung over one shoulder. At nearly 13 now, she seemed to be growing taller by the week. "Don't forget I have rehearsal after school today. Ms. Wong says we need extra practice for the spring concert." "I remember." Anna nodded. "I'll pick you up at 5:30. That was another change. No more early morning shifts that started before dawn. Anna's new position in guest relations at the Grand Royal Hotel meant she worked from 9 to 5 with weekends off. The regular hours had taken some getting used to, but she loved being able to have breakfast with Lily every morning and be home in time for dinner. The guest relations job had been challenging at first. After 8 years of housekeeping, where she could work quietly and independently, Anna had to adjust to spending her days interacting with guests, solving problems and coordinating with different departments. But she discovered she had a natural talent for calming upset guests and finding solutions to their problems. Her attention to detail, the same quality that had made her an excellent housekeeper, served her well in her new role. "Ready to go?" Anna asked, grabbing her own bag. They walked together to the bus stop, the same route they'd taken for years, though now they left 2 hours later each morning. "I still can't believe Dr. Phillips is coming to the spring concert," Lily said as they waited for the bus. "He probably goes to hundreds of school events, but not many where the student playing the piano solo was personally recommended by him," Anna pointed out. "He believes in you." "Lily, so many people do." That was perhaps the biggest change of all, the number of people who had entered their lives since that night. Mrs. Harrington had become something of a mentor to Lily, attending her school performances and occasionally taking her to professional concerts. Mr. Chen, the symphony director, had kept his word about the youth program, and Lily now spent Saturday mornings rehearsing with other talented young musicians from around the city. Even Thomas Reed had changed his tune. He now greeted Anna respectfully when they passed in the hotel corridors, and had once awkwardly complimented her on raising such a talented daughter. It wasn't exactly an apology for shouting at Lily that day, but Anna could tell it was his way of acknowledging his mistake. The bus arrived and they found seats near the middle. "Are you nervous about your solo?" Anna asked. Lily considered the question. "A little, but not like I was at the gala. That night I had no idea what to expect. Now I know I can do it." Anna smiled at her daughter's confidence. It had grown steadily over the past months, not in an arrogant way, but as a quiet self-assurance that came from hard work and recognition of her abilities. They separated at Anna's bus stop, with promises to text each other during the day. As Anna walked the 2 blocks to the Grand Royal, she thought about how much her own confidence had grown as well. The promotion had meant not just better pay and hours, but a new sense of possibility. Mr. Rivera had already mentioned the hotel lobby gleamed in the morning sunlight as Anna entered through the main doors, no more slipping in through the staff entrance at the back. She nodded to the doorman and the front desk staff as she crossed to the guest relations desk, where she would spend her day helping visitors enjoy their stay. The white grand piano still stood in its place of honor near the center of the lobby. Anna smiled every time she passed it, remembering how Lily had insisted on moving it back to its proper position that day. Such a small action, but it had set off a chain of events that continued to unfold in ways she could never have predicted. "Good morning, Anna," Mrs. Chen said, stopping by the desk. After 20 years in housekeeping supervision, she too had made a change, accepting a position as assistant manager of hotel operations. "Good morning," Anna replied. "Busy day ahead?" "3 corporate events and a wedding," Mrs. Chen nodded. "Speaking of which, Mr. Rivera wants to see you in his office at 10. Something about the Johnson wedding this weekend." Anna made a note in her planner. "I'll be there." The morning passed quickly, filled with guests checking in, questions about local attractions, and minor issues to resolve. At precisely 10 o'clock, Anna knocked on Mr. Rivera's office door. "Come in," he called. The hotel manager was reviewing documents at his desk, but looked up with a smile when Anna entered. Their working relationship had evolved over the past 6 months from employer-employee to something closer to mentor and protege. "Anna, thank you for coming. Please sit down." He gestured to the chair across from his desk. "How are things in guest relations?" "Going well," Anna replied. "Mr. Patel says guest satisfaction scores have improved 8% since January. I saw that report. Very impressive." Mr. Rivera leaned back in his chair. "And how is Lily doing at her new school?" "Thriving. She has a solo in the spring concert next week." "Excellent. Please let her know we're all rooting for her." He shifted to a more businesslike tone. "Now about the Johnson wedding this weekend. As you know, they're very important clients. The bride's father is on the hotel's board of directors." Anna nodded. She had been handling many of the details for the elaborate wedding, coordinating between the family, their wedding planner, and the various hotel departments involved. The wedding planner just called. They've had a last-minute issue with their pianist for the ceremony. He's come down with the flu and won't be able to perform. "That's unfortunate," Anna said, already thinking about possible replacements they could recommend. "I can contact some of the musicians who regularly play at the hotel." "Actually," Mr. Rivera said with a slight smile, "Mrs. Johnson specifically asked if your daughter might be available." Anna blinked in surprise. "Lily? But she's never played at a wedding before." Apparently, Mrs. Johnson was at the charity gala last year. She remembered Lily's performance and was quite impressed. She said, and I quote, "That young lady played with more feeling than many professionals I've heard." Anna felt a surge of pride, followed quickly by concern. "A wedding is a big responsibility. Of course, it would be properly compensated," Mr. Rivera added. "Standard professional rates. And they only need someone for the ceremony, not the reception. About 45 minutes of playing. Mostly classical pieces that I'm sure Lily is familiar with." Anna thought about how Lily would react to this opportunity. Her first paid performance. "I'll need to discuss it with her, but I think she'd be honored." And nervous, understandably. But Mrs. Johnson said they're not looking for perfection, just the genuine musicality that impressed her last year. He handed Anna a folder. "Here are the details. Let me know by tomorrow morning." That evening, when Anna told Lily about the offer, her daughter's eyes widened in disbelief. "Me? Play at a real wedding? Like a job?" Lily sat down on the couch looking stunned. "A professional engagement," Anna nodded. "With professional pay. How much?" Lily asked cautiously. Anna named the figure and Lily's jaw dropped. "That's more than you used to make in a week of cleaning rooms." "For 45 minutes of doing something you love," Anna pointed out. "But it's your decision. It's this Saturday, so you'd have less than a week to prepare." Lily was quiet for a moment, clearly thinking it through. "What if I make a mistake? It's someone's wedding day." Mrs. Johnson said she wants your genuine musicality, not perfection. "And remember what Mrs. Harrington told you before the gala? If you make a mistake, just keep going. Most people won't even notice." Lily took a deep breath. "I want to do it." The next few days were a whirlwind of preparation. Lily practiced the wedding pieces every spare minute, while Anna coordinated the logistics with the wedding planner. Mrs. Harrington, when she heard the news, insisted on taking Lily shopping for an appropriate outfit for the occasion. By Saturday morning, Lily was as prepared as she could be. Anna helped her get ready, noticing how much more calm and focused her daughter seemed compared to the night of the gala. "Nervous?" Anna asked as they rode to the hotel in a taxi, a small luxury Anna had insisted on for the special day. "A little," Lily admitted. but mostly excited. It feels different being hired to play, like I'm a real musician. You are a real musician, Anna said firmly. The hotel's garden had been transformed for the wedding ceremony. White chairs were arranged in neat rows facing an arch covered in flowers. The white grand piano from the lobby had been carefully moved outside and positioned to one side of the seating area. Lily went straight to the piano, running her fingers lightly over the keys to get a feel for it in the outdoor setting. The wedding planner approached, clipboard in hand. "You must be Lily," she said with a professional smile. "I'm Diane, the wedding planner. Here's the final program and your cues. The ceremony starts in 30 minutes. Any questions?" Lily reviewed the program carefully and shook her head. "I think I understand everything." "Perfect. The bride's mother speaks very highly of you." With a nod, Diane hurried off to attend to other details. Anna helped Lily arrange her music sheets, then stepped back. "I'll be sitting right over there," she said, pointing to a spot where she could watch without being in the way. "You'll be amazing." As guests began to arrive, Anna found herself thinking back to that day 6 months ago. How terrified she'd been when she heard Thomas Reed shouting at Lily in the lobby. How certain she'd been that she would lose her job. How she could never have imagined the way things would unfold. The wedding ceremony was beautiful. Lily played flawlessly as the guests were seated, and then the traditional wedding march as the bride walked down the aisle on her father's arm. During the ceremony, she provided soft background music at the appropriate moments, following her cues perfectly. When it was over and the newlyweds had processed back down the aisle, the bride's mother, Mrs. Johnson herself, stopped to speak to Lily at the piano. "That was exactly what we hoped for," she said warmly. "Thank you for stepping in on such short notice." "It was an honor," Lily replied with a poise that made Anna's heart swell with pride. Later, as hotel staff carefully moved the piano back to the lobby, Anna and Lily stood in the garden watching the wedding guests move to another area for the reception. "How does it feel? Your first professional performance?" Anna asked. Lily considered the question. "Good, really good. Different from playing at school or even at the gala, like I was part of something important," Anna nodded. "You were. You helped make one of the biggest days in someone's life even more special. Do you think—" Lily hesitated. "Do you think I could do this again? Play for other events?" "I don't see why not," Anna said. "We could talk to Mr. Rivera about the possibility. The hotel hosts all kinds of events that need musicians." As they walked back through the hotel lobby, they passed the spot where, 6 months ago, Thomas Reed had shouted at Lily for moving the piano, the same piano that had just been played at a board member's daughter's wedding, by the very girl who had been scolded for touching it. Life is strange, isn't it? Anna said more to herself than to Lily. "What do you mean? 6 months ago we were trying to hide you in the break room. I was terrified of losing my job. And now you have a better job, I'm at a better school, and I just got paid to play piano at a fancy wedding," Lily finished. "All because I couldn't stay put in that boring break room." Anna laughed. "I'm not saying I approve of you breaking your promise that day, but I can't be too upset about how things turned out." They stepped out of the hotel into the spring sunshine. Ahead of them stretched a future neither could have imagined on that winter morning 6 months ago. A future with new possibilities, new challenges, and music. "Lots of music, ready to go home?" Anna asked. Lily nodded, then paused. "Mom? Thanks for bringing me to work that day." Anna smiled and put her arm around her daughter's shoulders. "Technically, I don't think I had much choice, but I'm glad I did." Together, they walked toward the bus stop, leaving the Grand Royal Hotel behind them. The place that had once been just where Anna worked, then briefly a source of fear and anxiety, and now it was just one chapter in their ongoing story. An important chapter, certainly,